Welcome everybody, Level M Diecast, bringing you another edition of Found on Amazon. This one is going to be a little bit more budget friendly for those of you who are looking for budget options for things. So I picked up some acrylic display cases. Now, these are the best bang for your buck as far as what it costs to display a single car. So that's kind of how I figure out the more cost-effective way to display cars, because you have a single car, the more money it costs to display that one single car is kind of where you get your value from. So there are three individual display cases in this. I've cracked one of them already just to see what fits in there, but we'll go ahead and crack these. They do come loose like this. They just 3 boxes in a bag, which is kind of interesting. That's just kind of the way it works. But when you open them up, they do have nice padding and stuff to keep them protected. So let's take it right out the box. Kind of glued in there a little bit. Pull the box out. It is in a bag, in a foam. And then a little bit of packageception going on. So this is the display case. It's a little bit big as far as like fitting in the studio. But it would sit like this. It's got tiers on here. They hold 8 cars all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars. And you get 3 of them. So that's 24 cars. It costs about $29 for these. So one thing you'll notice is they are completely smooth on the back. They are not technically designed to be hung up, but there's a little latch here. Opens up. That's, of course, how you get the cars in there. A couple of things just sitting in the studio. So it doesn't hold taller items, you know, bigger, larger, taller items, but it holds some other stuff. Yes, that is that Elite 64 Aventador. So the lid doesn't like necessarily snap. It doesn't like click here on the edge. So it just kind of just sits there, but there's a lot of friction to it. So it's not going to fall open. It's not going to come open on its own. But it looks pretty good. You fill it up with cars, it'll look pretty decent. Like I said, it's 8 cars, so it's a little bit taller than what fits on the, you know, the studio area here. Now, one thing that it does come with is these. So each one of these comes with these. These are double packed or sticky, I guess you can say. So the way it works is you can just peel off the back. You stick it to the back of this direction, so it's upside down. You put this one on the opposite of whatever you want to hang it on. And then you'll be able to just set it down on there, and then it'll kind of just hang there. Now, it is all adhesive, but realistically, 8 cars is not really going to weigh that much, just 8 cars. So I feel like these would be sufficient, but being that this is just an adhesive-backed thing that you would put on something, I wouldn't put too much trust in maybe putting high-dollar stuff in these, because this is not a great idea. They do click together pretty good or slide together, and they feel pretty solid. But again, it's essentially a sticker. It'll stick to the acrylic very, very well, but whatever you're sticking it to, probably not as well. One of the things that you probably could do is you could probably stick this to a wall and maybe put some push pins or something like that, or maybe put some screws if you want to get kind of out of control. But I was assuming that these don't hang at all. These are specifically to be on a tabletop, which is fine, but definitely better if you can hang them. These are not quite the greatest, so not a huge fan of this part of it. Now, they don't click together or anything, so I have another one here with just some other cars from sitting around the studio. They do not click together, and if you were to put them on the wall, you would need to put them far enough apart to where you can get your fingers on them. So I have this flipped over, so there's access to a door on each side, so they're opposite of each other. But if you were going to put them, you know, right next to each other with a, you know, no access to get to a door. So if we take these out, there we go. So if we wanted to have back-to-back, as far as like if you put them next to each other like this, you can't get your finger in there to open up the door. And so you can pull it from the top, but it's not really designed to do that. So sitting on a tabletop, it's perfectly fine. You can just, you know, move it, open the door, and put it back. But it looks decent sitting there. It looks okay. I'm a little disappointed in the whole overall product. I think it looks good for, you know, regular display, you know, especially maybe like a background or something like that. But for like presentation purposes, probably not the greatest display idea. But like I said, you get 3 of them. So 8 times 3, 24 cars. So it's just over $1 a car. It's about $1.18 or so a car, which is actually very, very, very good. That's one of the lowest you can get. And the acrylic is pretty decent quality. Although if you were to drop this, it would definitely shatter into a bazillions of pieces. No doubt about that. So not a bad product. It's pretty cool. So no need to open up the third one. So we'll set that guy to the side. Now, the other budget item I think would be a little bit more appealing to everybody. We do have ourselves another diorama setup. See, this one is GFan's 1/64 scale Hot Wheels with 6 parking spaces. So this particular one is not as fancy as the one that we unboxed before we started doing the whole Amazon series, but it was from Amazon as well. That one was much nicer, had a couple of tiers to it, and it was electronic. This one should have all the same details as far as like a case cover and whatnot for it. So this one is significant. Oh, look at that. I didn't even realize, but it looks like this one is lighted up as well. So this is even a better value than I thought, because this one, this is only $20. This kit right here, only 20 bucks. In stock from Amazon. As a matter of fact, I got this delivered same day. Same day. Got it delivered today, which was pretty nice. So we'll unpack everything out of the box. Just a little tiny box, nothing fancy. We'll get that off the studio. Some backing for the acrylic. So we'll have to tear that off for the acrylic. May not put the acrylic case on there. This is a fence or guardrail type of piece. Looks like it's got some backing on it. This thing looks extremely fragile. So we will definitely need to be careful with that one. This is the base part. This is the very, very bottom of it. This does not come with instructions at all. There's no instructions, at least no instructions I've seen thus far. This is very tightly packed in this little bag. This is a type of foam. Try to get that to focus. Apologize about that. Just doesn't want to focus on just the foam. So this is a type of foam. I do apologize about that. It's not very soft. It's very rigid, but it is a type of foam. Really, really nice prints on the bottom here. Does have some tire markings and stuff like that. It looks pretty cool. You can definitely tell it's printed. It's definitely a print on there. But I don't think it looks bad. I think it actually looks pretty good. Another bag of parts. This one has some details in the back. There is one panel. It's got like some drifting going on for a garage door, which looks pretty cool. Maybe not exactly the highest quality cut on these, but we'll see. There is the back of the garage. It just says D1. A little bit of print on there as well. Of course, probably D1 for drifting, I'm sure. There is some print as well. There is some actual D1 drift cars. There's your Toyo tires, GR Supra. There's I think that's a S14 in the background. That might be a maybe a Soarer, I think, like that in the background. But those look like the actual models. Probably not licensed. Just saying, probably not licensed, but they are there anyways. This is going to be a very straightforward put together. So get this in the back. Just push it down in there. Be able to build this in real time. Let's see, this one goes on this side. Push that down. There we go. This one goes on this side. Push that one down. Oop, there we go. Okay. There's our room, which looks pretty cool. So we got a room going on there. And then, of course, the lid on the top. This is going to be opposite this direction. So once you put this in here, it becomes completely enclosed. So what we'll do, let's see here. It's actually going to be, I get it. Okay. So there's a little notch right here. Kind of hard for that to focus. There's a little notch right there. That is for the power cord. So when you put this top acrylic piece on here, it's a good thing these things aren't like really difficult to figure out because they don't give you instructions. But this is where the cord will go. We'll just have the cord kind of sit in that little notch so that it's out the way. Just kind of push this down a little bit and be a little bit gentle with it. So this is definitely a very isolated display piece. You see this is completely enclosed. So this is more so for just maybe photo shoots or something like that. Just a very, very small spot in there. There you see the lights on the top. Then, of course, it does come with the acrylic cover. So this will be the acrylic cover that slides through the top to keep it covered. And then what you can do, I think is the way that this works, is when you're not using the cover, because it doesn't look like there's anything else here. Oh, I see. So this is actually not a gate. This is not a gate or a railing. This is the structure for the ceiling. So there's two little notches here. Sorry, there's two little notches up here. So this is actually going to go underneath. Obviously, you need to pull off all the acrylic covering, but that would be there on the top. So that you would have a rafter up at the top to kind of hide the lights. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool touch. This thing is like ridiculously fragile. It's just so thin. But you got to tear the backing off of it. So see, that's just it's gonna look really nice. It's gloss black. It's just gonna look really nice up in the rafters, but it's very, very tiny. Let's see if we can get this off just to get the effect of it. That comes off pretty easy. I was pretty worried about that for obvious purposes. And then the other side, let's see if we can just get that one off just real quick in a little bit of real time. What? Sorry, it's like way up on the camera. There we go. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just notch it in. There we go. So it just sits in there, but that looks pretty good. Kind of helps block out the light just a little bit. So we'll get that out of the way. And then what we'll do is we'll just plug this in and see how the light looks, see what color the light is. Hopefully it's a little bit more natural style of light, hopefully. So I'm not a big fan of the kind of dull yellow lights that usually happen. We do have a little plug here on the side of the studio. Actually work out. It's a little bit on the opposite side, so there we go. You get that plugged in, and then there's just a little switch, and there you go. That actually illuminates very, very well. It actually looks really good. It actually kind of solves the problem of it being dark. The lights actually are pretty nice. It looks like, that's actual overhead lights. It looks really, really good, actually. I really like that look. It's actually not too shabby. So I'll put something down here so I can get the display up a little bit. There we go. Looks really good. The background prints and stuff look very, very good. And then, of course, you can just put your model in there. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed. I am pretty impressed. It's a very, very nice setup. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm pretty happy about that. That's definitely worth $20 for sure. And you could fit, probably, making it look decent, you could probably fit about 4 or 5 cars in there. But that one looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy that this guy doesn't roll. The guy doesn't roll, by the way. So if you get one of those Elite Aventadors, that thing doesn't roll worth a nothing, by the way. At least mine doesn't roll. Maybe you guys will get one that actually rolls, but mine doesn't roll. So I'll get the camera down a little bit. So there you go. We got some our acrylic cases, our budget acrylic cases, but of course the star of the show is this really nice D1 authentic quoting, totally thifted, but it's a really, really nice set. So let me know what you guys think about those two items. Still looking for more stuff on Amazon, so if you guys happen to find something you think might be a good fit, don't hesitate to shoot me a link. Definitely throw down and take some suggestions and see where we can go from here. So appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Gonna roll out. Until next time, leveling Diecast. Peace.